My name is Lewis. My marriage to Anna was expected to be a long and sweet journey. However, as time went by, conflicts and differences between us gradually emerged. As an ordinary office worker, I had to work hard to make ends meet every day, but I could not make a breakthrough in my career, and Anna became more and more dissatisfied with this and began to question our future, believing that I did not have enough motivation and ambition. I tried hard to save our relationship, communicating with Anna, telling her that I was working on it and that it would just take time. But Anna seemed determined and she didn't want to wait any longer. "Lewis, we can't go on like this." One night, Anna sat on the couch and said in a cold tone, "Our life is going nowhere. Your job is the same, and I feel like I'm wasting my youth in this marriage." I tried to calm Anna down, telling her that we could work together and face the difficulties together. But Anna couldn't listen to me anymore. She only had the desire for a better life in her eyes. "I can't wait any longer, Lewis. I have to make a choice for my life." Anna stood up, looked me in the eye and said, "I've decided to leave you and find the life I want." These words were like a sharp blade that pierced my heart. I could not believe that my beloved wife had decided to leave our marriage, our memories, and our vows behind. "Anna, please reconsider. We can work together. Don't give up on our relationship," I pleaded, trying to hold Anna back. But Anna's mind was made up. She packed her bags and walked out of our home and out of my life without looking back. I sat on the sofa, feeling the sky spinning, not knowing how to face this sudden blow. My marriage, my love, just like this ashes? For the next few days, I was a mess. I didn't want to work, and I drank all day long to drown my sorrows. I kept thinking about my relationship with Anna and wondered why it had come to this. Gradually, I began to realize that I couldn't just give up on my life, and Anna's departure may have been a wake-up call for me to see my own shortcomings and weaknesses. I decided to pull myself together and stop wallowing in the pain of losing Anna. I had to prove myself and show Anna that losing me was the biggest loss of her life. I started to replan my life and put all my energy into my work. I believe that if I work hard enough, I will succeed. This marriage, though broken, has taught me the meaning of growth and struggle. I want to turn the pain of losing Anna into motivation to move forward. After Anna left, I was determined to prove my worth by making a difference in my career. I quit my mediocre job and joined a promising startup. At first, it was not easy. I had to adapt to a new working environment, learn new skills, and face the challenges of starting a business. I often worked late into the night and rarely had weekends off, but I didn't give up because I knew this was my chance to prove myself. Over time, I have been able to demonstrate my talents in my work. The innovative solutions I came up with attracted a lot of clients and investments for the company. I began to be recognized by my bosses and colleagues and was given important responsibilities. However, the road to success is never easy. Our company was facing a shortage of funds, and some important projects were suspended. As the project leader, I felt great pressure and even doubted my ability for a while. But I didn't give up. I thought about the solution day and night and sought help from all over the world. Through unremitting efforts, I finally found a new investor, the project continued, and the company survived. After this crisis, I became more confident in my abilities. I began to take the initiative to take on more responsibilities, leading the team to overcome one problem after another. Gradually, I became an indispensable backbone of the company. At the same time, I have not relaxed my demands on myself. I used my spare time to learn new things and enrolled in various trainings and seminars. I began to pay attention to my image, learning to dress more appropriately and act more confidently. Several years have passed in a flash, and I have grown from an unknown employee to a company executive, managing dozens of employees. My income has also doubled several times, and I have lived a good life that I did not even dare to think about before. I bought a new house, bought a luxury car, and began to frequent high society. People praised me for my talent and charisma, and I became a model of success. But I am not complacent. I know that all this is my sweat and hard work. I understand more, only continue to learn, continue to forge ahead, in order to stand invincible in this ever-changing business world. I look back at myself at the time of the breakdown of my marriage with a lot of emotions. It was Anna's departure that gave me the opportunity to change myself. Without that blow, I might never have realized my potential and never have become what I am today. Now I am no longer the same Lewis who did nothing back then. I have a career, status, confidence, and charm. I have reinvented myself and become a new Lewis. But deep down, I have never forgotten Anna, and I often wonder how Anna would feel if she saw me now. Would she regret her decision? I hadn't thought about Anna for a long time since I had a successful career. I was fully devoted to my work, enjoying the joy and satisfaction brought by my success. But one day, I received an unexpected call from Anna. When Anna left me 4 years ago, we broke off all contact. I didn't know how she was doing or where she was now. I was a little surprised to hear her voice, but also a little curious. Anna told me that she was with a man named Ralph and that they were married. But they are now facing a serious financial crisis. Ralph's business is failing. He has huge debts and their house is in danger of being repossessed. Anna had heard about my achievements and wanted to meet with me to ask for my help. I hesitated, not knowing how to respond. At one time, I had loved Anna so much, but her departure had brought me great hurt. Now, her sudden appearance took me by surprise. But on second thought, I'm not the same fragile Louis the First was back then. Now I have enough confidence and wisdom to face my past feelings. So I agreed to Anna's request and set up a time and place to meet. On the day we met, I dressed up, put on the most expensive suit and the most exquisite watch. I wanted Anna to see that I was a different person now. Anna and Ralph had already waited in the cafe. After 4 years, Anna seemed to have emaciated a lot, but still maintained the beauty she once had. Ralph, on the other hand, looked anxious and uneasy, and it was obvious that he was under great pressure. After a few pleasantries, Anna opened up to me about their current situation. Ralph's business had failed and he was heavily in debt, with frequent harassment from his creditors. Their savings have been depleted and their house is in danger of being repossessed. If they didn't get the money soon, they would be out on the street with nothing. Anna looked me sincerely in the eye and pleaded with me to help. She knew that with my current financial resources, this amount of money was nothing to me. But for them, it would be a blessing in disguise and would help them to overcome their difficulties. I quietly listened to Anna's account, and my heart was full of mixed feelings. Once, Anna had left me for the richer Ralph, and at that time, I had also faced financial difficulties, but Anna did not give me any support and help. Now, she was begging me, which I found ironic, but at the same time, I also saw the despair and helplessness in Anna's eyes. I know how much courage and kindness it takes to put aside past grudges and help someone you once loved. I was deep in thought, weighing the pros and cons. Helping Anna would mean that I would have to deal with the pain of the past again, that I would have to get involved in her life again. But if I didn't help her, I couldn't bear to do so, after all the good memories we had. I looked at Anna's expectant eyes and Ralph's saddened face, and finally made a decision. I told them that I was willing to help, but I had one condition. I asked Anna to spend 4 weeks with me, just like we used to. During those 4 weeks, I would support them through their difficulties. Anna and Ralph looked at each other as if they didn't expect me to make such an offer. They hesitated for a moment, but finally agreed. We agreed on a start time and left. Walking out of the cafe, I had mixed feelings. I didn't know if my decision was right or wrong, and I didn't know what changes these 4 weeks would bring. But one thing I know very well is that I'm not doing this to get back at Anna or to humiliate her, but I hope to use this opportunity to take care of our relationship and to say goodbye to our past. After Anna and Ralph agreed to my terms, we agreed that Anna would move in with me for 4 weeks starting next week. During that time, I would provide the funds to help them through their difficulties. The first day Anna moved in, I gave her a tour of my mansion. Anna seemed a little surprised to see what I was living in, but more than that, she had mixed emotions. I could understand her feelings. After all, we used to live together in a humble apartment, worrying about making ends meet. Now, I could live in such luxury. For the first few days, there was a bit of awkwardness and discomfort between Anna and I. After all, we hadn't seen each other in 4 years and had new lives. After all, we hadn't seen each other for 4 years and we both had new lives. But gradually, as we began to talk about our past, the atmosphere became more relaxed. We talked about when we first met, about our wedding, about the dreams we had shared. We also talked about the reasons why our marriage broke up and about our separate lives over the years. Through these conversations, we began to get to know each other again and started to reconnect. I did everything I could to make Anna feel comfortable and enjoy herself. I took her to fine restaurants, to the theater to see the latest shows, and to the golf club. Through these activities, I want Anna to feel the charm and taste that I have now. At the same time, I was working hard to put my best foot forward in front of Anna. I took her on a tour of my company and introduced her to my business and my team. I wanted Anna to see that I was no longer the same loser who had done nothing. To my relief, the gap between Anna and I seemed to be slowly melting away as we spent time together, and Anna began to open up to me, sharing with me her joys and sorrows over the years. She told me that her marriage with Ralph was not as good as she had imagined, and that they often fought over money. She said that sometimes she wondered what would have happened to us if she hadn't left me. Hearing these words, a glimmer of hope rose in my heart. I wondered if this reunion might be a second chance given to us by God. Maybe, after all these years of growth and change, it is possible for us to start again. But I quickly dismissed the idea. I realized that there had been too much hurt and mistrust between Anna and me, and it was impossible for us to go back to the past. What's more, my current life is no longer suitable for her. I decided to let these 4 weeks be a time for us to say goodbye. During this time, I'm going to do my best to make it up to Anna and create good memories for her. At the same time, I'm going to take this opportunity to make a clean break with our past and clear the way for our new lives together. As time went by, Anna and I became more and more natural, more and more like friends, even like family. We started to cook together, watch movies together, go for walks, and chat together. It was as if we had gone back in time, to the time when we first fell in love. But I knew in my heart that this was just a temporary illusion. Once the 4 weeks were over, Anna would go back to Ralph, back to her old ways. I, on the other hand, would continue my career, and this was just a farewell to the past. Between us, it's no longer possible. But at least, during these 4 weeks, we slowly repaired each other's wounds and slowly regained the understanding we once had. It was a unique experience that allowed me to let go of the past. With this realization, I started planning to take Anna on our farewell trip before the end of the 4 weeks. I want to show her the beauty of the world and take her to realize some of our dreams. I want to use this trip to bring our past to a happy ending. As the first stop on our farewell tour, I took Anna to Rome, the Eternal City. We strolled through the ruins of the Colosseum, feeling the vicissitudes of 1,000 years of history. We visited the Vatican museums and marveled at the extraordinary achievements of human art. In front of the Trevi Fountain, we flipped a coin to make a wish, as all visitors to Rome do. Next, we traveled to Paris, the city of romance. We climbed the Eiffel Tower overlooking the Seine River. We wandered down the Champs-Élysées, admiring the outdoor cafes and street performers. At night, we looked out over Paris from the heights of Montmartre, a beautifully lit city. Our last stop was Vienna, the capital of music. We visited the Golden Hall and listened to a wonderful classical concert. We strolled through the gardens of the Schönbrunn Palace and experienced the splendor of the Habsburg dynasty. On the banks of the Danube, we tasted authentic Viennese coffee and sacher cake. During the trip, I could feel a change in Anna. She began to rekindle her enthusiasm for life and started to show her long-lost smile. She was surprised by my careful arrangements and touched by everything I did for her. Our conversations became more and more intimate and deeper. We talked about each other's ideals and dreams and our visions for the future. And Anna told me that during this period of time together, she felt my maturity and sense of responsibility and felt my heart for her. She said that she began to be impressed by me and began to re-examine our relationship. My heart was also in a state of flux. Through this time together, I reconfirmed that my feelings for Anna had never waned. I began to fantasize what kind of future we would have if we could be together again. I even began to think about how to convince Anna to stay with me and not go back to Ralph. However, reason prevailed over emotion. I understand that Anna and Ralph have the constraints of marriage and the responsibility that cannot be shirked. I also understand that the conflict between Anna and I cannot be resolved with a few sweet words. What we need is time and space to reflect, to grow, to determine what we really want in life. So, towards the end of our trip, I found the courage to tell Anna what I was thinking. I told her that these 4 weeks had been the happiest I had been in years. But I also realized that it was just a dream, and that I would have to wake up and face reality. I told Anna that our deal was over. Starting tomorrow, she can go back to Ralph and her original life. As for our relationship, let it be sealed in this beautiful memory forever. Anna was silent for a long time, with tears in her eyes. She told me that this period of time was also a valuable experience for her. It allowed her to reacquaint herself with me as well as with herself. She said she would take my words seriously and think about her life path. We held each other as tightly as we had when we first fell in love all those years ago. I knew that this would probably be the last time we would be this close. But I also knew that no matter what the future held, this journey would be the most precious memory of my life. On the return flight, I looked at the clouds outside the window and felt a lot of emotions. This trip not only completed the farewell between Anna and me, but also gave me a new understanding of life. I realized that true love is not possession, but fulfillment. True happiness is not in others, but in oneself. The road ahead is still long, but I believe that after this experience, I am ready to start a new chapter in my life. And Anna, too, will find the life she really wants. After the trip, Anna returned to Ralph. Although we had agreed to put the past behind us and start a new life, I still had her in my heart. I wondered if everything would be okay when she got back. A few days later, I received a letter from Anna. In the letter, she poured out her reflections and feelings to me. She said that before reuniting with me, she had always thought that happiness meant having more money and status. She thought that with Ralph, she could have the life she wanted. However, during the time she spent with me, she rediscovered the meaning of life. She realized that true happiness comes from inner peace and satisfaction, from experiencing the sweet and sour of life with the one she loves. She began to reflect on the fact that her endless pursuit of material things had made her lose too many precious things, her ideals and our relationship. Anna told me that after returning to Ralph, she began to try to change. Instead of being obsessed with money and status, she began to learn to be content and appreciate the little things in life. She began to invest time in repairing her relationship with Ralph, trying to regain the trust and understanding they once had. Reading Anna's letter, I am happy for her change. I realize that everyone's life path is different, and everyone needs to go through some ups and downs to find a way of life that really suits them. I am happy for Anna because she is finally starting to face herself bravely and start to live for herself. At the same time, I told Anna in my letter how I was doing. I told her that after this experience, I had a new realization. I realized that I can't keep living in the shadow of the past, and I can't keep holding on to my lost love. I needed to be brave enough to come out, to embrace the future, and to look for new possibilities. So, I started trying to change my life. I started to work more and lead my team to achieve more with innovative ideas and projects. I started to expand my social circle and meet more like-minded people. I started to develop new hobbies, learning to paint and sailing to enrich my spare time. Gradually, I realized that my life has become more fulfilling and happy. I was no longer bound by the past, no longer distressed by lost relationships. I began to truly enjoy my freedom and the joy of exploring the unknown. At a friend's party, I met an interesting woman. She is an independent photographer with her own unique lifestyle and philosophy. We met at first sight and became friends very quickly. In my relationship with her, I felt a new kind of attraction. This attraction was no longer based on material things or appearance, but on the resonance of souls and similar attitudes towards life. I began to realize that perhaps this was the kind of love I had been looking for. This woman and I began to slowly develop our relationship. We traveled together, discussed art and life together, shared our dreams and worries together. In her company, I felt happier and more fulfilled than ever. I know that this new relationship is the result of letting go of the past and embracing the future. It makes me realize that there are always new hopes and possibilities in life. The key is to have the courage to pursue and change. In my reply to Anna, I shared these insights. I encouraged her to stay with her changes and to continue to work for her own happiness. I told her that no matter what the future holds, We must learn to be grateful for the past because it has made us better versions of ourselves. At the same time, I extend my best wishes to Anna. I wished her to find true happiness in her marriage and to realize all her dreams. I told her that no matter where we are, we will always be the most important friends and confidants who know each other best. After writing this letter, I felt an unprecedented sense of relief and relief. I know that I have truly said goodbye to my past and have truly begun my new life. And all of this is thanks to that unexpected reunion, thanks to that opportunity for us to grow up with each other. It made me realize that the most valuable thing in life is never material or status, but love, growth, and the courage to keep moving forward. A few months passed by. During this time, Anna and I kept writing to each other, sharing the details of each other's lives. From Anna's letter, I learned that her relationship with Ralph was gradually improving, and that they were communicating more, understanding each other's needs and feelings. And Anna told me that she was learning to express herself and to initiate change. At the same time, Anna began to re-examine her life. She began to think about what she really wanted and what would make her feel truly fulfilled. She took up new hobbies, learned to cook and garden. She told me that in the process, she gradually found her own value and inner peace. I'm happy for Anna. I know that this is a big breakthrough for her. She's finally starting to live her life for herself and pursuing the happiness that is truly hers. I'm sure that if she keeps going, she'll find the life she wants. I, too, have been exploring and growing in my new life. Since our last meeting, my relationship with the photographer has evolved. We started to learn more about each other and started to share each other's lives. Under her influence, I began to develop a new interest in art. I began to study photography with her, learning how to capture the beautiful moments of life through the lens. We participated in photography exhibitions and discussed art and creativity together. Gradually, I found that my life became more colorful. At the same time, I have met many interesting people in my new social circle. They come from different industries and have different backgrounds and experiences. My interaction with them has broadened my horizons and given me a new understanding of the world. I started to participate in some charitable activities and began to pay attention to the underprivileged in the society. I used my resources and influence to help those in need. In this process, I felt an unprecedented sense of fulfillment. I realized that true meaning comes from our contribution to others and our connection to the world. In spite of all the changes in my life, my concern for Anna has never diminished. Whenever I received a letter from her, I would reply as soon as possible, giving her my most sincere wishes and support. I know it's impossible to go back to the past between Anna and me, but the understanding and respect we have for each other will last a lifetime. We are both moving forward on our own paths, but our friendship will always be with us, giving us strength and comfort. Sometimes, I think of our days together. Those sweet memories and those painful experiences have become an integral part of my life. They have taught me the true meaning of love and the meaning of growth. Now I have learned how to love, how to fulfill. I understand that true love is not possession, but giving, not bound, but free. I want to use my way to love the world, to love everyone in my life. As I look to the future, I am filled with anticipation and hope. I know that there will be many challenges and unknowns in life, but I am ready to embrace every possibility and create the life I want. No matter what the future holds, I will face each day with a grateful heart, grateful for every encounter, every growth, every experience of love in my life. Because of them, created today's me, created my infinite vision of the future. Dear Anna, dear friends, let's work together, on our own paths, to create the best chapter of our lives. With love and courage, let's light up the world and make ourselves better. Life is never easy, but as long as we have each other, have the love of life and faith, we are fearless. Let's go forward hand in hand and welcome every new tomorrow. Thank you for taking the time to listen to today's story. If you enjoyed it, please like and subscribe if you haven't already. If you have a story to share about your own or someone else's experience, please feel free to contact me. Take care.